Hey, Texas Values supporters. Jonathan Covey, Director of Policy here for Texas Values, and I'm super excited to be able to talk today with Christie Slape. She's the Texas Ambassador for Moms for Liberty here today. Thank you for coming on with us, Christie.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you, Jonathan.
I heard you refer to yourself at various occasions as calling yourself an accidental activist.
Yeah, that's true.
I tell us a little bit about your journey as you kind of got involved with Moms for Liberty and generally in the work, because you've been involved in so much related to parental rights, related to privacy, all sorts of things. So tell us a little bit about your journey.
That's right. Well, first of all, I usually say I'm just a mom, and it's true. First and foremost, I am a mom, but it is the most important job that I do. I have 4 kids and now I have a grandbaby, and so this journey of fighting for the survival of America through education and parental rights has really been so important to my heart to get this done and do it right. And I really spent a lot of time along with other courageous moms who are fighting for the same things. I have children in public schools. My youngest is still in public schools in Round Rock ISD, and during COVID, she was forced to wear a mask, and we just weren't going to comply with that, and so we started a homeschool pod, and then we tried to work our way back into the school because my daughter really wanted to be with her peers, but we started fighting against all of these terrible policies and people like this left-wing progressive type administration in our school district, and it really opened my eyes to the fact that we have a big problem here, and parents were being pushed out of schools. We really weren't welcome into the schools, and so it opened the door to trying to find other like-minded parents who would fight the battle with us, and that was through Moms for Liberty.
That's fantastic. I've seen you, up at the Capitol so many times, and just really involved in all of these areas. One thing I wanted to talk about was the legislature passed this past session Senate Bill 12. This was what they called the Parental Bill of Rights, and you were a big part of that as well. Talk to us a little bit about how that came about and some of the problems it was trying to solve there.
Sure, yeah. With Moms for Liberty, our mission really is parental rights and education, and so any bill that has to or that seeks to make the parents' rights more known and fundamental and in law, we support, because we know our rights are from God. They're not from the government, but when it's put into law, it's very clearly stated for those who would try to, impede our rights. And so we did feel very comfortable as the Texas Legislative Committee of Moms for Liberty in endorsing SB 12. It was a bill that encompassed a lot of the things that we've been fighting. We were able to, see the addition of the prohibiting the social transition of children in schools. That wasn't even in the bill originally, but it was another bill that we were following. So it all came together beautifully, and now in our schools we're seeing the school districts scramble because they're trying to figure out how can we give parents the right to opt into mental health screenings and medical care, which we've been trying to do all along. So it's interesting to see them try to comply with the law, but it's great because this is what we wanted all along.
Right. Well, I think it's interesting you bring that up because that's sort of the almost the medical side of the parental rights, right? But I've heard some saying from Thomas Sowell a while back who said something like, it's not schools are no longer neutral. They're now in the business of ideological indoctrination. So we obviously the Parental Bill of Rights talks about this and put some provisions in place to protect kids. What is that doing? What is that trying to accomplish?
Well, honestly, we've seen a lot of our schools, the PTAs and the school clubs infiltrated with the LGBTQ ideology, which we say as moms, why are we promoting sexuality in our kids? We're talking about kindergarten through 12th grade students. Right. Those topics should be discussed by parents and their children when the time is right. It's not the role of the school to do that. So what SB 12 has done is it just made it mandatory for every school to get permission from a parent for a child to join a club. It could be any club. It could be the FCA, or it could be a cooking club, a gardening club, but we just want parents to know what their kids are doing. And then it did remove the GSA clubs, the gender and sexuality clubs, which we're really thankful for, because those were places where students would go, they see the colorful rainbow and they feel like it's supposed to be like a fun, inclusive type thing, but really the ideology ran very deep, and it was really dangerous for kids that were unsuspecting, I guess.
Right, yeah, and I know Moms for Liberty worked very hard on this issue. Texas Values worked very hard on this issue, and we worked together a lot. You're also part of the Parent Empowerment Coalition as well. So, I think this was just an incredibly huge victory for the different organizations, for students, and for Christians. So very excited about that. One of the other things that we worked on a lot, and we saw you up the Capitol, was the Texas Women's Privacy Act, and keeping biological males out of sex-separated spaces. Tell us about this problem and some of the things you've experienced with that.
Yeah, I have the joy of living in Round Rock ISD. They're always in the news because somebody's always trying to, skirt the rules. But we did learn several years ago that there were girls that were changing in the locker room, and a male was told by the school district that it was fine if that male went in. A male who, dressed as a girl and changed in the same locker room. That was unacceptable to those girls and to their families. And that kind of started this understanding that there were these policies, these shadow policies, where each individual student had their own rules, and there was nothing in policy that said that only girls could be in girls' bathrooms. So we started looking into the laws as they were filed, and we found that Senator Middleton had done a great job of filing the bill, I think, in the regular session, and we wanted to support that. We went in and testified in the Senate. We had several of our members from our chapter go and followed it all the way through the special session, but we are very relieved that now there is a law in the books. The implementation and the enforcement of that law is still kind of, unknown how that's all going to work out, but to have a clearly defined space for biological males and biological females, especially in our schools, that is a huge step in the right direction.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely. And Governor Abbott just signed this law into effect last week, so we're very excited about that. We're going to see Governor Abbott here at the Texas Faith Fest here in a couple of hours, so very excited to see him. Just as a parting shot, anything else that Moms for Liberty has coming up, things y'all are working on going into the next few months?
Well, we are so thankful to be here at the Texas Values Faith Fest. I have personally been here, had a table set up for the last 3 years, and I've attended previous years. What we are doing today is we're trying to talk to parents and grandparents and letting them know we need you to join our army. We are an army of moms and dads that are fighting for the survival of America. And much like Turning Point USA with college students and high school students, we are reaching out to the parents saying, you have to be engaged. This is not a sideline sport. You cannot sit back and just hope that your school districts are going to educate your kids the way you want them to. You have to be involved. So we want people to join, and we also are trying to start new chapters in counties across Texas. So as a Texas ambassador, 254 counties in the state of Texas, and we have chapters in about 13. So I'm looking for eager, tenacious, willing parents who will say, I'll start a chapter in my county, and we'll start educating the community on the issues and trying to move the needle forward towards liberty for our children.
Christie Slape, Texas Ambassador for Moms for Liberty. Come on out to Texas Faith Fest going on today and tomorrow. You can see their booth here in the exhibit hall, and we're excited to continue as we continue rolling on with Texas Faith Fest September 26th and 27th, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.